as for you, when you pray, enter into your... Now, the Greek is tameion zou, your inner room, your personal, private room, the place where you alone are. And klisas tintiranzo, and having closed your door, pray to your Father, in, now, to crypto, in the secret place, or in secrecy, intimacy. And your Father, of lepon en to crypto, who sees in the secret or in secret, will reward you. There is a verse in the Old Testament which talks about the secret of the king. We do not easily share things learned in secret prayer and intimacy with others. It is to betray the secret of the king. As between lovers, they have their own language that no one else understands. So we keep the king's secret between ourselves and him. But there is more in this than meets the eye. There are times when it is more easy to pray in a place where there is no one else there, physically, than actually in a church where there are people there impeding one to be alone, mentally and psychologically, because the mind is trained towards them, especially if they talk. We need to be aware of this verse because it can help us should we never be able to find a church where we can be alone. We can be alone spiritually in a place where others are alone spiritually, in church, where no one talks, but only God is talked to. That can happen, and it happens, of course, in a monastic community all the time. But there are other churches where that is not the case. Now, we only have a certain amount of time on earth, and of that time only a certain amount can be given to 100% attention to the King of Kings in mental prayer, with nothing else happening at the same time. And so we need to evaluate, how best can I pray and where? We have no excuse for not praying. That is the bottom line. If we want to, we will, and we will make preparations that we will find the inner room. But there is this inner room which can be attacked from within. It is difficult to enter into prayer mode when we have just been bombarded by a or many a distracting message. It is also more difficult at certain times of day, when we're in agitated mode, than in the virginal hours of pre-dawn, when the body and the whole of nature and the day is still, open, hungry and receptive. It's all preparation and the finding of the inner chamber. But there is also more. The quality of what goes on in secret depends to a large extent on how much we allow to enter into it. The more we have on our mind of our own volition and choice, the more we are drained in that inner room. And so it's a well thing to be aware of, that actually if we go through life full of contact all the time in all modes possible, that inner room will also be full of other things. But there is also the fact that we do not need to talk a lot about our inner world. We don't actually need to talk a lot about ourselves at all. If we do so, we are falling into this category which the Lord is warning us against, seeking our glory from others and in this life. It applies to all the things that he's about to talk to: fasting, prayer and almsgiving. Elemosina, the root of mercy, which actually translated back into Hebrew has the root precisely of mercy, tzedakah. Doing a mercy, in the Hebrew it would be. This mercy is not done for itself or for applause, and true mercy is not even noticed actually, because there are some acts of mercy which are purely invisible. One would be listening without interrupting, giving time without noticing. And with regard to this particular one, the Lord has strong language that we should not let one hand know what the other is doing. That's bizarre. So if we're not aware of it ourselves, we certainly shouldn't be seeking the attention of others. And that defeats much of the good that we do. Purity of intention. Who are we doing it for? After his death, it came out of the woodwork that there were lots of medical bills that had been paid for, underwritten by Cardinal Newman when he was there at the oratory in Birmingham, where there were many poor people unable to pay their bills. There, it was only known after his death. But all these other hidden mercies, the one that perhaps a mother would do all the time, does not receive a lot of glory. It's, as in the First World War, a war of attrition. It goes on, and there's not much glory. St. Teresa of Avila was given to understand that what most damages is the internal life is this element of self-respect and impurity of intention. If our intention were pure, we would not get so ruffled about many things. And that ruffling, going back to the original point, also ruffles the peace of the interior room, that secret place. Our soul ruffled can't hear the peaceful one. So externally and internally, we need to find and protect our inner chamber. And in secret, meet the Lord there, eye to eye, without anyone else having to know about it. Questo Vangelo ci invita a andare nel luogo segreto. La preghiera segreto è la preghiera intima e uno deve preparare il luogo fisico, un luogo in cui non si sente altra cosa, tipo messaggio telefonico, ma anche il luogo spirituale, perché l'anima si prepara. Ci sono punti anche temporali, la mattina e la notte, che aiutano molto. E per questo, se l'anima davvero ama il Signore, troverà sempre una camera segreta. Se non lo fa, fai scuse, mostra che il desiderio suo è altrove. Perché non è un tempo che dà e che rende per l'efficacia della vita materiale. È gratuito. Però il segreto di questo dà senso a tutto il resto, e quando non ci sei, quando non c'è, tutto il resto è puramente esterno. Per quanto riguarda la purezza dell'intenzione, questo fu un insegnamento dato anche a Santa Teresa di Avila. La cosa che danneggia tanto la vita interiore è questa impurezza, impurità di intenzione e di ricerca di se stesso, la gloria ricercata, l'opinione degli altri. E questo, con tante altre cose, contamina anche la camera segreta. Siamo pieni di altri pensieri, anzi pensieri altrui, invece di essere liberi e di non pensare a qualsiasi altra persona a piacere se non Gesù stesso. E dunque, se l'animo lo ama, troverà sempre un luogo segreto, un luogo essenzialmente dove non c'è altra presenza, ma solo l'incontro, gli occhi negli occhi.
Salve Regina, Mater Misericordiae, vita dulcedo, et spes nostra salve. A te clamamus, exurex Filii Eve, a te suspiramus, gementes et flentes, in ac lacrimarum vale. Edia ergo, advocata nostra, ilos tuos, misericordes oculos, a nos